Now, check the time here. My previous segment was cut short because the batteries died. It's happened before. I get no warning, it just beeps out. So, I was speaking about the book Witness from Beyond, written in the early 70s. And transcribed and edited by Ruth Matson Taylor. And again, her father was A.D. Matson, a Christian minister who had always believed in the afterlife. And when he died, came through the clairvoyant Margaret Flavel Tweddle. I was speaking about Heaven and Hell in the last segment. When I got cut off, and I forget where I got cut off. I'll continue on here. Heaven is a state of being joyous, light, loving, harmonious, vibrant, God-centered, and others-centered. The heavier the vibration, the nearer we are to hell. Hell is a state of being heavy, dull, dismal, gray, glum, as when you are heavily depressed and self-centered. People who have an orientation of hate, for instance, like the white supremacists, if they only knew how they're wasting a precious life on that junk. People who have an orientation of hate, for instance, find themselves unable to appreciate a realm of love and harmony. Therefore, they continue in their state of bitterness and are closed to the glory which exists. See, they've locked themselves into a hell of their own making, and they'll stay there for eternity if they don't change. They could be so happy, and yet they want to be in this hateful state of mind all the time. It doesn't make sense to me. I am told by my spiritual inspirer that they have to wait. These people wait, and gradually they appreciate the fact that it is very destructive to hate like that. When they have had real hates and have been emotionally upset like that, or have had a real bitterness towards someone, then it takes them quite a period of time to get the light and the power around them again, to be able to appreciate this place or that, or go to the valleys of praise, or go and hear beautiful music. They just hear discords, and eventually they come to the realization that this isn't much of a life, is it? And the moment that happens, those who are dedicated to work with this sort of person come, and they have their methods of easing them away from the state they are in. It is like taking the skin off an onion. They will gently peel off this layer that is formed by hate, the shutting in, restricting coat that comes on them with their violent negative emotion. Thinking about the terrorists here. They think, I guess in their belief system, if they're a martyr, they call it blowing up innocent women and children, have nothing to do with the war or anything else, that somehow or another they'll go to a heavenly state. And it's incomprehensible to me. And of course this obviously says there's no way in the world that's going to happen, no matter what their belief system is. For someone who is bigoted and intolerant to come here when they lose their physical bodies, it is also a very painful and very uncomfortable life. It is very lonely. It is almost as if they are encased in a hard shell or hard covering, and there is great difficulty in finding a chink or a crack and bursting out. If you are tolerant, sympathetic, and easily touched when you are on earth, you may find that your sympathetic tears and emotions for other people may make you a bit uncomfortable sometimes. You may feel a bit ashamed of having to blow your nose and dab your eyes, the tears from your eyes, feeling that other people may not understand. However, you may have the consolation of knowing that when you get here, you will have less work to do because you will not have to undo and dispel and disintegrate a hard shell of indifference or intolerance. This plane is full of different people, so many different people, that one must learn tolerance, and very quickly. Otherwise, you meet someone, and if you are not tolerant towards them, you are immediately consumed by annoyance, and your spiritual body becomes upset. You can get mental indigestion. You then go need to go and find somebody to calm you down and sort you out. In the same way that you go to a doctor for an upset physical body, so you can go to a clinic or a healer here and get your astral body sorted out. It is not sensation to go talk and be smoothed down, as it were. It always reminds me, when I watch it being done, of how a bird, a seagull in particular, will come down to land just as it touches water. It is protected and buoyed, and the bird folds all its feathers and its wings down until it is smooth and sleek. This is exactly how our aura has to be smoothed down until it is smooth and sleek. Is there a devil? Well, let's see what he says about that. I said no, if you remember. Other than the evil force in the world, collective evil force, from all the people that have that state of mind, and the lower levels of the astral world, of course. We asked A.D. if he could enlighten us about the existence or non-existence of a devil. He stated, just knowing the bad mistakes you made through your carelessness or your selfishness is a hell. You don't need a devil prodding you with a fork, believe me. Your own anguished mind is a prod that is more hurtful than any prodding with the devil's fork. I met a man over here who said that he would gladly exchange good old Dante's Inferno for the mental anguish he was experiencing over the guilt feelings from wrong actions he had taken on earth in certain business matters. Pay attention, you guys that brought all the banks down and financial institutions with all your complicated financial instruments. You pay attention to this, I'd say. In Dante's Inferno, he would be able to complain that the devil was doing this to him, whereas now he has no devil to complain of because the devil was himself. Whether there is a negative personal being who can be called the devil, I cannot say. Well, as I say, there isn't, as far as we know. I've not seen anyone personified as the devil. There certainly is an evil force which builds up from the negative aspects of life and has a tremendous influence. Thought forms, which are evil, certainly play a part. I have some of that thought forms, evil thought forms, in my book, Dorothy's Mystical Adventures in Oz, if you get a chance to read that. The chapter's called Thought Form Land. The problem of evil is a very perplexing one. We have not solved it here either. There is a negative aspect in existence which causes man to react contrary to God's will. What the original source of that negativism is, we do not know. Only God knows. This is a theological question that has bothered man through the ages. If we get further thoughts on this, we'll bring them through. I think I'll read some more of this, next time, as long as you're interested. I find it very interesting. Okay. Thanks again for your interest, and good night.